All right, welcome everybody to the next figure drop talk. That was very, very quick turnaround from the last one, just a day later, since they decided to announce two at the same time. We're back to back with these. Hooray! We're going to go over the brand new, well, I guess it's not too new, some old. We've got the Godzilla 2016 second form and third form and giant unidentified creature set. Exciting. For now, let's just go over this release really quick. Let's go over the details for it. So Godzilla 2016 second and third forms and giant unidentified creature set. So it releases in August 2026. USA release date is going to be September 2026. It's at 15,400 yen and a $150 MSRP. So from Shin Godzilla 2016 second form and Godzilla 2016 third form and the giant unidentified creature are now available as a set in the S.H.MonsterArts line. The giant identified creature, which first appeared in the film, is recreated for the first time in a size that emphasizes its imposing presence. And what they mean by that, guys, is that it's not in scale. They made it a lot larger so that you could have more display and play options. But we'll get more into that a little bit later. In its sea surface form, complete with ocean surface sculpting at the base. Its tail protrudes from the ocean as seen in the film. Godzilla 2016 second form and Godzilla 2016 third form sculpts are reused with updated colors. So there's no changes in the sculpt or anything like that. They're the exact same molds as before. That's all they're trying to say right there. There's no new engineering or anything like that. The giant unidentified creature's coloring is based on what's seen in the film. The ocean surface parts are painted red to recreate the reddish color of the ocean when it first appears. The coloring for Godzilla 2016 second form and the third form has been updated to better match what's seen on screen. Each segment of the giant unidentified creature's tail can be moved, allowing you to recreate the smooth movements seen in the film. Godzilla 2016 second form and Godzilla 2016 third form can be moved the same as the previous releases, allowing for poses that evoke a variety of scenes, such as the serpentine walking pose of the second form and the roaring pose of the third form. Wow, quite a description. And you know what? I'm surprised that nobody has said this. Nobody's coined it, so I'm coining it right here. Because we all like to shorten things, right? We always like to shorten names that are very long. Giant unidentified creature. Why is nobody calling it the Gook? Or the Guk? Who knows? But that's what we got here. So let's check it out. Here we go. And let me just drop it in the chat for y'all. Okay, so let's just take a look at this. This is the main page right here. If you guys want to hear the little sound effects on the screen right there, all you got to do is just click on this. And it gives you a nice little roar. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at these photos right here. We will be zooming in a little bit later, but for now, we're just going to scroll through this. You guys can follow along. But there it is. It's been scaled up. You can see a lot more detail, way more detail that's on the second form's tail. That's for sure. Way more detailing right here. And this uses the 3D CG data when they created this, by the way. Looks really, really cool. I love the detailing on this. It's funny, they said it was red, but I don't know if it's just me, but it just kind of looks more purplish red. More purple than it does actually red. Yeah, this is looking good. I love this coloration on it. It's so much more what we saw in the movie than what we did get around the first time. And this one, don't get me wrong, the second form, the first release, it didn't actually look too bad coloration wise. It was all right. It wasn't bad, but this is definitely much more spot on. And to be clear with some of everybody, I see some questions in here like the sculpts look a little rough compared to what they looked like before. These are factory samples of what the so basically when we saw promo for the first time around, guys, the first release was a resin prototype. Even the G-Store exclusives, those were resin prototypes as well. They were just taken around the same time. But this is a factory mold. So what you're seeing right here is largely what you're gonna get with the details. You know, the sharpness, the teeth and everything. That's what it's gonna look like coming out of the factory. So this is a plastic ABS model of the characters that you're seeing right here. Although I have shared concern, I've been seeing a lot of folks saying like, what's going on with the teeth here for that? And I've looked at my copies, both the G-Store exclusive and the first one, and their teeth are definitely more predominant here. So honestly, it looks like the mold got baked in the factory right here. I'm really hoping that that's what's happened, because these have only been printed twice in a very limited fashion, and mold degradation does not happen that quick, especially with how many units were actually sold of these things. So I don't have a confirmation one way or another, but yeah, it's definitely looking pretty baked right there. Like they overcooked when they were pulling out of the mold and the teeth have shrunk. Because I've seen this before with my own experiments right there, just trying to heat things up, and that's what the teeth look like after you heat them up way too much. They just lose all that definition. So hopefully that's the case for this figure right here. But yeah, here's all of its different poses. And then we got the whole family together. If you guys are wondering if this is the original Awakening or if this is the recent one, the Movie Graphic Plus, this is the Movie Graphic Plus version of Shin Godzilla featured here. So they're just putting them all together just to show you guys. Fun fact, this tail right here, it's 6.3 inches tall. So this is the size of your standard Godzilla figure. That's how tall this guy is. So that is it. If you guys wish to download these photos, you can. You just scroll down on this page right here, hit the download all images button right there. And then if you want to check out the other forums, you can also click on these links as well. All right, let's get into it. Woo, look at that. Oh, it's a face that only Shin Rubjura can love. So, but this is the coloration on there. I hope you guys are seeing just as what I'm seeing too. I know initially when it first was released on social media, everybody said it's black. But this doesn't look black. It's very much a darker red coloration right here. And I feel like throughout Shin Godzilla, as you see the third form, its color just sort of changes a lot throughout, right? Maybe not a lot, but just enough. It goes from like a brighter red coloration when it first evolves, but right before it turns into Shin Godzilla, it really does look like this coloration right here. So, and I've seen somebody show me some photos of like right when that happens too. And I think something else for people to be aware of is that the color grade in the movie during these segments is more of like a Mexicali kind of sunset kind of thing. When you take out that orange coloration, it looks exactly like this color right here. It looks exactly like this color. But let's scroll down. Oh my god. This is one of those things where these characters just look better in the movie and they just don't look that great in figure form. But they're using the 3D assets in the movie to create these right here. There was additional sculpting by the guy who's in charge of the creature design. He did do some additional sculpt work on these guys. But yeah. Woo! And then here's a nice close-up right there. Look at that. The whole base is translucent. This is fantastic. Interesting that the color of this doesn't match, you know, the first form, but it still looks okay. It's been a while since I've seen Shin Godzilla. I need to go back and kind of rewatch it. They do say that they're trying to aim for the colors to be as accurate as possible this time around, so... Yeah, Gareth right here, he says, yeah, Form 3 does get darker as his screen time continues. The shot where it stares at the helicopters has coloring identical to this. Yeah, so, and that's the other thing, is that the colors that are chosen here, they're chosen by the guy in charge of, you know, these designs. So, those are the colorations he decided to go with. All right, so we're gonna start from the base of this guy and work our way up. So let's look at this. Look at that. You know what's really cool, what I really like about this is that depending on your display, you could put an LED underneath this thing. It's gonna look so cool with an LED underneath that. Provided that they don't have a solid white back underneath this. If it's translucent underneath it, this is gonna light up and it's gonna look so cool lit up. I have a perfect idea of how to do that too, so I'm really looking forward to that. Look at that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 segments of articulation on this guy. And look at that! What are those? Are those eyeballs? What the heck? That's an interesting detail. I don't know. Is that? We'll have to look at the second form and see if these details are there too. But I've never seen that before on the shin tails. That's crazy. Because if this is just a blown up version, you know, of the second form's tail, I mean, I know it's supposed to be the first form, but it's so similar to the second form's tail, right? Like, it's kind of interesting. I feel like those are little eyes. It's such a unique detail. Anybody know, anybody like Shin fans that know any lore about this? This is the first time I'm seeing this. Anyways, we're gonna come back down. It looks like these are spaced well enough too, so you're gonna get some decent range out of them. There is a unique shape, so there's gonna be some limitation when you're like tilting it upward and downward, but it looks like side to side, these things are gonna really move. Wow. Just wow. The details are incredible on it. I mean, if it's just a giant tail that's set 6.3 inches, you're going to see all these details, so it looks great. It looks really, really good. Okay, so that is that shot of the tail. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, look at that. I'm curious if this is connected with a ball joint to the base, or if it's actually mounted and, you know, glued onto it. Because it doesn't look, it looks like it could be connected versus on a ball joint on this. It does look like that. Yeah, this is looking good. Goromaki's eyeballs. Oh, wow. That made me laugh there. That's fantastic. So this is a 3D print too. You can see these little lines right here. This whole bit, this is a resin prototype right here. So that's the big difference, right? The other forms, those are reused ABS molds. This one, it says it's brand new crafted and everything. It's a resin print, so that's why it's really sharp in detail and everything. Yeah, you can see the 3D print lines on it, but it looks pretty cool. Yeah, right there too. Look at that. As cool as 3D prints and resin prints of these and how sharp they are, they just don't hold a pose that well because they don't have that plastic insert on the inside, like the sockets and the casings, and the ball joints aren't made out of that material. So it's just when it comes to posing, like these guys, like I've held these prototypes before and they just do not hold poses very well. We've even seen evidence of this at when they have them at events. Like sometimes the figures have to be sitting on stands or blocks or something like that. It's because it's made out of resin and they just don't hold. They look good, they just don't hold. I like this though. Seeing this more up close, it's got me excited. All right, let's take a look at this guy right here. We'll start from the tail and we'll work our way back up to the head. Let's see here. Is there any translucent paint on the third form? No, the third form, there's no translucency. Same thing for the second form, no translucent materials. It's all solid. Tail looks good. It looks great. I like the bloody dry brushing on there. I actually don't recall if this is even on the original, but this is a nice detail right there. I know that it's on here. I just don't remember it being on the tail. And this is a pretty small figure, guys. This stands at like, I think it's like basically 2 inches tall. It's got some length on it, it's just not that tall. These feet on the original, like, they're okay. Sometimes it disconnects right here at the ankle, but a little kiki fix goes a long way right there. Yeah, look at that. So this is a plastic mold. What you guys are looking at, this is ABS plastic. You can see seam lines and everything. These are not resin prints by any means. So what you're seeing here is largely what you're going to see in the final product. Yeah, you see that right there? You got a seam line. Yeah, you won't see that with a resin print. And these are hand painted, not by the factory. These are hand painted by the artists that they have on hand that do these for the paint masters. So what they do is they just take the old figure and they just paint over it. I'm sure that they strip it and stuff like that to make it so that it's easier to paint over. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just literally paint over the original figure. But that's kind of how it works for these guys. I am digging this. I prefer this paint job of this one over the first release by far. Definitely. And the teeth look good for as small as this figure is. I mean, I think they look good for a factory pull. So, like I said though, this is a face that only Shinrobjira can love. Oh, good point. RoboLizard says if they don't strip the paint, might be why some detail is lost. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're painting over, it's like a whole nother coat that just kind of mutes some of the details on the sculpt. Yeah, absolutely. And they adore Kamata's face. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not that. No, I can't. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Another Kamata photo. This time we'll start from the head. Look at that. Very close up there. Oh, it looks so good. This looks so much better than the first one. It just does. And I think there's also some dry, some weathering, dry brushing going on in between the cracks of all that too. Not too much, but... Or maybe, you know what, this is probably just a little excess paint from the painter. That's probably a mistake, likely, but there's supposed to be a black ring around the eye. I think that's the point. I'm digging the red on the back. The gills on the previous photo looked great too, but the back paint is solid on this. And it was just as good as on the first release too. It was definitely that red color. This red is a lot more kind of bright with a white wash throughout of it. So it works though. It works. It definitely works. Yeah, you can see, like, because it's hand painted by this guy, you know, there's some paint errors here and there. Like, this whole side isn't even painted. It should be painted, like, you know, the same color, but clearly it wasn't when they were doing this roll, or he painted over it, something like that. But that's why we call them prototypes, right? Excuse me, I didn't. Oh, voice was starting to dry out. I'm in Southern California right now. We're hitting weather of like 85 degrees today in Southern LA, so West LA, yeah. Super hot over here. I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. Let's look at that tail. There we go. Looks like they made it white and added a bloody red wash to make it more fleshy. Yeah, it does look like that. That's what's really exciting about that, right? The unidentified creature inclusion seems perfect for making a Shin Godzilla stop motion. I probably won't display mine, but it will be handy. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be displaying mine for sure. And this is a good example. Like, if you had a smaller version of the giant tail, right? Look how many segments they have for the second form's tail. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 connections. So you're getting significantly less. You're getting larger blocks. It's not going to articulate as much. So maybe some people would be fine with that. I would be fine with it if I didn't know any better, right? If I didn't know that they were going to scale it up, I'd probably be okay with it. And the price probably wouldn't have been increased as much, but there's a novelty to having the larger version of it too. Okay, one more Kamata. Look at that. I think this is the best photo that they have for the promo. It looks great here. Different reds and whites mixed in there, that fleshy look right there. I think they did the gills perfectly this time. That looks great. Yeah, so it stands about 2 inches tall off the ground, but you can have it so it's, look at that. I forgot. You can move these. They're articulated, by the way. These guys right here, you can move them. They don't move far. They just kind of wiggle a little bit, but they are articulated. Look at that. I love this. I love this detail. I hope this translates well in the final factory version. Little darker wash on the feet right there. Looks good. I think whoever was taking these photos must have been around a cat, because there's a lot of little bit of cat hairs everywhere throughout the figure. I know that all too well. I have 2 cats of my own, and they are always getting into my shots. Yeah. Hey, look, it's the part where he rises, wiggles his arms, and drops dead. I mean, it's true. Or so they thought. Yes. So, we saw both sides of the tail right here, and it didn't have the little eye holes on that, so... Yeah, I'm gonna just zoom in even farther, but I don't see any spots for that. So that must be just on the first form only, but it's a really cool detail. I think that's one of those things where certain details are lost as you shrink things down. But I'm digging this. Look at the shading on the back of it. The blend right here. Like, if this translates very well, it's gonna be a solid second form for sure. Okay, let's look at this guy. And we'll start at the head. Yeah, so it's not the greatest, you know, when it comes to the teeth and everything. Like I said earlier, if you're just joining us in the stream, maybe you didn't hear me say it. I feel like that this figure, this prototype, this factory sample that they've sent over just sat in the mold too long, and that's why the teeth look the way that they look. Because I looked at the previous ones that I own, the G-Store exclusive and the first one, and the third form's teeth look great on those. They look great. And the way mold degradation works, it doesn't happen after you've only used it for as little time as these guys have actually been printed. Like for Shin Godzilla, sure, that's been printed so many times, right? That's to be expected over time from the same mold over and over again, you know, 6 or 7 times. But these guys, they've only had 2 runs and they were very limited. So I highly doubt that this is how it's gonna look in the end. And I'm hopeful at the same time that I'm correct, that this one sample just sat in the oven too long. Time will tell. As they display these closer to the release date at events, we will be taking into account of how these teeth are going to look. And if they still look like this, then I will happily say, yes, these are degraded by far. But I just don't believe it based off of what I know how these work. But let's talk about the color. Let's talk about the color of this guy. Everybody saw the colors on everywhere. They said it's way too dark and everything. Somebody mentioned it earlier in the stream. There is a moment in the movie where the color of this character changes, right? From when it first evolves into the second form, or from the second form to the third form. And it just kind of gets darker throughout, all the way up until the point it changes into the fourth form. And there's a good moment that's floating around. Somebody sent me a photo of it. I don't have it on me right now, but there's a good moment that shows Shin Godzilla, Godzilla third form, and the coloration is spot on to what we're seeing right here. Especially if you take away the color grade, which is an orange sunset kind of thing. If you color grade that back into just a normal white balance, it's spot on to what you're seeing right here. It's spot on. I'm not sure about the dorsals being this color, but it is colored by the guy who created these creatures, so there has to be some credence to the coloration that's been chosen. But yeah, I'm liking this. It's got the darker red right there, and this isn't black. If anybody says that this is black, it's not black. It's a dark, bloody red color. Very, 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 very dark red. But it's not black. Especially as we get further down. Look at that. I like the red in there too. I'm very curious to see how this is going to turn out on the factory level. And you never know. If you weren't happy with how dark this is, the factory might just lighten it up in general. So, because sometimes that happens, right? If we look at Godzilla 2004, remember the first one was just a regular charcoal gray, and then the reissue was the correct color where it was supposed to be blue. Like a blue-gray, so time will tell. Time will tell. As we get closer to release, we will have a better idea of what the colors are going to look like. You just have to remember that these are hand painted by these are paint masters. That's my point. These are paint masters. Factory stuff might look a little bit different, might look worse, might look better. I love this. Just a straight up burn victim right here, man. Honestly, between the second and the third form, I actually enjoy posing the third form a lot more than the second form, so. But I'm excited for this. I did not like the coloration on the first release that they did for this, because it looked exactly just like the second form. And I like the way that this one looks. I think Robo Lizard also made a good point. When you're, if they made, if they're painting over an existing paint job and everything, there is going to be some loss of detail right there, but I'm not entirely privy to how they actually do that on their end. I should ask them next time we do an interview when it comes to these factory samples being reused for promos. So there's that. Let's take another look. The roaring pose. Oh, look at the detail on the inside of that mouth. That's really cool. Yeah, I think that this mold just, this prototype, I think they just baked in the oven too long, because there's like no teeth at all. And if you look at any of the other ones, there's like plenty of teeth. Oh, and we got some cat hair in the mouth right there. This dude ate a cat! So, Now that we're getting a closer look of this chat, everybody that's watching, you know, what are you feeling? Do you feel a little bit better about the colors now that you're seeing the high res and you're seeing that it's not so dark? Or do you just completely disagree with me on my assessment and that it's just way too dark? What do you guys think? I think this looks really cool. I like this. I will take this over what we got the first time around. So I'm excited for it. The third form should have been more fleshy red or maroon color, in my opinion, too dark. Yeah, I think it just depends on which scene you prefer. Whether it was first molted, right? From not molted, but you know, when it first evolved from second to third form, because it was definitely much more red in that shot, right? More of a fleshy red color. But I actually appreciate this darker color, in my opinion. It's a tad bit dark. Like every other P-Banda, I'm waiting for Caucus or BPTS to put it up for pre-order. It's up. They're up, man. I don't know about Caucus, but for Big Bad Toy Store, it's been up, yeah. Go to my website. I'll put the link right here in the chat for you guys to go ahead and get to it. But there's pre-order links for this whole set. It's already there. Yeah, look at that. I don't know. I don't think it's too dark. After seeing these photos, I think it's just right. Yeah. I think this looks just right. Man, look at that. Looks great on the feet right there. I think when the lighting gets darker in these spots, it does look a lot darker. I'm there with you guys on that. I think there's some lighting issues on this. It's not issues. It's just that when it's not fully lit, it does look darker. But when you have it lit up, like this part right here, this looks great. This looks exactly like I thought it would look like. Like the arms and everything, the back, this looks good. Yeah. Okay. And then this is our last single photo of this guy right here. I like that there's a little bit of that bone color on the back of it too. That's kind of cool. You guys don't have to worry about dot matrix paint, by the way, with these guys or decals, because the eyes are baked into the sculpt, man. Look at the little hands, the freakish little hands. This is a better shot of those dorsals too. Look at the dorsals on the back. Look at that. I like that. I like that a lot. See, this is where I'm starting to think, like, when you see stuff like this, the bottom of the feet, these look like more of like the original coloration, so that's why it's just like, did they actually paint over the original to do this? Did they use primer and block it out? Did they strip the paint? I'm not sure. I'm going to ask that question, though. Next time I do an interview with them, I'm going to ask them that. Get to the bottom of this. Where is the best place to order this set? Do you think it will show up on Amazon? Is that a good place to order? Honestly, Amazon is, if you're tight on a budget, Amazon doesn't take any money down. If you live in the United States, you can pre-order it, no money down, right? But I will tell you that Amazon does take forever to get it. It's usually a month later after it hits the United States. That's when it rolls into Amazon's shop. So if you don't mind waiting, that's the best place to do it. If you want it as soon as possible, Hobby Genki in Japan, they get it pretty quick, and they'll send it to you. You do have to pay duties FedEx delivery duty paid is the best option to go because you don't have to worry about unexpected costs. What you pay there is what you pay. And then for the cheaper option here in the United States, E-Night Media, Kappa Hobby, those are great. Beast of East Collectibles, you can get them from them as well. Toku Collectibles, they're also good too. Free shipping, all 4 of those I just mentioned have free shipping. So there's that. Anyways, let's look at the whole family together here. This is the same photo as the first photo that we looked at and we zoomed in on, so I'm not going to really bother too much about this with zooming in, because all they did was just, you know, zoomed out the camera a little bit and added the 4th Form Awakening version on here. So let's see. So this is the factory sample of 4th Form Awakening right here. Yeah, so I think this is the same factory sample that they used the first time around. It does look the same. But man, I cannot wait for this one because the translucency on this, like Night Combat, this thing is gonna light up and it's gonna look so cool. So that is all of these guys right here for y'all. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to compare them, we're gonna compare the 2nd and 3rd form to the original set now. So again, to recap, resin prototypes on the left, and then we've got our factory sample in the middle. So things are gonna look as pretty sharp on the left guys right here, not so much on the right. So, but yeah, there it is though. They're all posed kind of in different ways, but similar. This one's neck is much further down, so it kind of looks a little bit more hunched. But yeah, that's there's significant detailing here, right? And then you don't see that detailing on this right here. But there's like so much more details, especially in these areas, right? Way more. Yeah. I was not happy with the coloration for this in the first release, though. The first release just did not spark joy. I'm sorry. This looks a lot better. But I really enjoyed the maquette versions, despite them just being maquette colors. Like, the coloration that they chose, and it just really pops. Just really pops. Like, all of the bone detail on these guys is not as apparent as it is in the G-Store exclusive. If you guys ever find the G-Store exclusives for a good deal anywhere on Mandarake or whatever, grab them. You will not be disappointed. They're really good, and they're surprisingly not super super high in price on the aftermarket. I'm really surprised. I thought these would go up in price like crazy, but they're okay. They're all right. So I think we have a forward photo of, oh, you know what? We're gonna probably just focus on the 3rd form for now. 1 second. We do not have a profile shot, unfortunately, of the new one. So this is just gonna have to be as good as it goes. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, the first release in the prototype, like, it doesn't look like this in the factory version of it. Like, a lot of the oranges and the bloody colors, they're very muted in the final release. It's pretty close to that, yeah. I was thinking about that. I was just like, it kind of looks like a Movie Monster series that I remember seeing, the coloration of that, so it does look like that. The original was too light and the re-release is too dark, but the darker one looks better. So let's get on that. Yeah, the dorsals are the biggest difference, right? Beyond the red color, like, look at that. Like, whole different coloration right there. And of course this one's going to be different just to be different, right? You know, owning both of these sets, though, you could, even though this one's not as red as it could be, the lighter red, you know, you could say that this one's like the very first transformation appearance, and then this one is right before it transforms into Shin, the fourth form, so. Just some reasoning you can make up in your head for enjoying both if you have both of these, or if you plan on getting that one and having this one at the same time. People are over-hating the 3-pack, especially the giant tail. Did they really want a really tiny tail that doesn't move much just for it to be in scale? Because I've seen so much hate on the scale. I mean, I'm sure that somebody's going to 3D print a minifigure to have it in scale without articulation, so. But if you really want the first form in its articulated form, you could always just disconnect the tail from the second form, if you really want to do that. It's not going to be in scale because it's supposed to be smaller than that tail, but it's something, right? Yeah, some people are big in the scale. They are big in the scale. So, oh, you know what? We do see a little bit of that tail. It's just too much of an angle, unfortunately, but let's see here. We don't have a back shot of that. Oh, we do have a roaring of that. Do we have roaring of this one? We don't. They do not have a roaring pose for the old Shin set, so we'll just use this one as a reference, even though it's not fully roaring. Yeah, even this one's not angled the right way. So there's that. Omi has a non-passable statue you can print out. Oh, posable. Water base included too. Oh, there you go. And his stuff, I know you can get on Colts 3D. I don't know if he charges for it. Sometimes he does free stuff, but I'd imagine it probably doesn't cost that much. The scale of the Gook is perfect for toy photography, though. It is, and that's what I'm really excited about. Cool. It would be pretty cool if we got a Godzilla Ultima Evolution set. I agree, that would be pretty cool. I have the Bandai Spirits of the Evolution parts right there, and they're actually smaller scale, and even though they don't move, they're neat to have as companion pieces. Alright, let's look a little bit. Let's see, I'm gonna try to get them at the same scale right there for y'all. Yeah, I like this. What they did with the gill paint right here, it's blood, like a nice bright red. I like that a lot. I like the little red on the claws too. This was just not doing it. Nobody liked this. Everybody who got this set, I don't think I ever saw one person that said that the paint on the third form looked good on the original set. But at least with this new one right here, I think it will grow on people. Especially knowing that you're probably not going to get another stab at this figure for a very, very long time after this. Unless it's like orthochromatic version, which I don't want that. I have major Shin fatigue. I am over Shin Godzilla stuff. Like, no more. Don't tell Rob. Don't tell Shin Rob Jura. Yes! Not big on colors of the third form, not sure why the spines are gray. Yeah, I don't know why they're gray on that, but that's the coloration that the designer chose, so maybe there's something about that. I'm gonna go through my 4K disc and I'm gonna take some screen grabs. I'm gonna see how close up we can get that to though. I'm hoping we also get the, oh yeah, well we got a ways to go for that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, there's the feet and everything. Yeah, I'm digging it. Honestly, I'm digging the new form. So, okay, I think we can now go to our Kamata-kun. We don't have a front view. Oh wait, we do. We do. It's this photo right here. Give me a second. Yeah. There we go. Try to get these around the same scale. There's some perspective differences because of the lens that they used, you know? Okay. Again, resin, factory ABS plastic right here. All right, so, but yeah, look at that. It's interesting because when you see the one in the middle, like, nobody really had any problems with that one with its paint job back when it was released. I think it still looks okay compared to this one. This one, the new one definitely has a lot more saturated colors on it, but I think it definitely looks a lot more accurate. This one was kind of like a dirty clay kind of coloration, which it was passable at the time, but when you compare it to the new one, like hands down, I love the new one so much more than what we saw here. So let's take another look at a different angle here. I don't think we have a side view. Close enough, right? So let's zoom in on that. Oh no! 1 second. Okay. I mean, you can see the colors for yourself, right? Like, if you didn't have this one next to this one, I think you would think that the one in the middle is, it's like, oh yeah, it's good, right? It's good, it's great. You can see the seam line too from the production. That's not present on the resin copy. But yeah, I love the new colors for the second form. Let's go down. I like that the dorsals are darker too. I never liked that they were brighter on the original. There we go with its little, with the nub arms. Little chicken wings. Yeah, there's just, I was right, because I remembered in the first form there just wasn't that much red throughout the middle parts of it, and they've definitely brought that here in the new one, so that's exciting to me. That is exciting. This one has so much black wash throughout the whole thing. It's so cool. Let's get down to the leg area right there. Look at that. Yeah, even in the way that the first one turned out, it was okay. This is a lot better though. I like the detailing here with the paint. I'll put it this way, the first form, especially towards the bottom of it and the first release, not the first form, I'm sorry, the second form, on the first release, it was a way more orange than what you're seeing right here. It was way more orange. At least this is consistent all the way around, right? Let me just get the tail in the frame right there for y'all. Yeah. Yeah. The bottom of it was just way like a bright orange on that first release of this figure, but this one it's just, and look at that, you've got red wash in between the crevices of all that. Let's see, I don't know if that, yeah, it's not even present. It wasn't even present in the first one. That's some details that we're missing. So I hope that they nail this in the factory version of it. They hope that they nail what they're doing here. I like that a lot better. So I think that the second form is an entire win in this new set. It's an entire win. I love it. First form, second form, 100% wins. I'm with y'all though. Iffy on the third one. Iffy on the third one. Let's see if we have another shot. Ah, yes. Gotta have some crazy faces right here, right? Look at that. Maybe that should have been the thumbnail, right? Woo! Look at that. They're here. It just goes to show you, though, how much detailing is lost when it comes to going from a resin prototype to the factory mold. Like, a lot of that sharpness is gone. And that's just the way that it works. Especially for this size of a figure, you're just not going to get those details. My only problem with the third form is that it lacks detail on its face, but it looks good. Like I said earlier, I'm just waiting for more examples of different prototypes of that one. I'm really hedging my bets on that one just cooked in the oven too long. Really hedging my bets there on that one. Yeah. So let's zoom out a little bit right there. Get a little bit of the gills in the shots. How are we feeling about it, everybody? Are you liking what you see in the first release, or are you liking the newest one now? Honorable mention for G-Store, right? We all know that it's great. We're just really comparing, honestly, between these two. I just have this here just for y'all to take a look at. Yeah, look at that. Let me get a little bit closer on that. Yeah, it was definitely a darker red, more of a bloody red. This is definitely more of a white, fleshy kind of red. Yeah. If this looks good in the final version, it will be awesome. Yeah. Both are good in the different ways for these different styles of paint jobs, right? Yeah, I agree. I like it a lot better. Much more colorful. The colors pop on it. Yeah, for sure. Feeling even better about this set with the high-res close-ups. Hey, you're welcome. Thank you, Tamashii Nations, for sending the high-res promo, too. You know, that really helps us take a closer look at these things. Yeah, darker, yeah. The tail on the new one just, it's so much, yeah, I just like this a lot better, hands down. I'm feeling very Kamata. I think they both have their pluses and minuses. Yeah, for sure. Mustard yellow spines on the OG for sure. Yeah, I never liked that. I'm here with you on this one. I like the more vibrant red on the third release. Yeah, I'm a fan of what we're seeing with the third release. The more that I've seen of it, I've grown to like it a lot more. So I have decided that I'm probably going to swap out the originals with the this new set here in the primary display that I have. So for sure. And I think that was, I don't think there's a roaring one. Yeah, there's no roaring one of that, so. Yeah, that's kind of it for that, and I think that's the end of it. Yep. Yeah, they didn't do too many photos of these sets back in the day, so. Yeah, I'm excited. I love the Kamata-kun. Very charming with cute derpy face. Yes. We all love Kamata. Everybody does. I don't think I've seen any bad comments about this one right here. Yeah, I think it's been mostly positive around this this figure right here. In the first form, I think there's some confusion of the scale on it, like whether it was done intentionally. It is. The first form scale is done intentionally to make it a lot larger for display and play purposes. It was a pretty shocking announcement all around, hoping we get some more news on the Odo Island Monster Godzilla soon. Yeah, in the coming months, we're going to be everything that was shown at 2025, Tamashii Nation 2025, we're going to see in the coming months ahead, so for sure. Cute guy. All right, so that is it for those. So what we're going to do now, guys, is I'm going to shut these guys down right here. Let's make this big again here. We're going to go back to the first form. And just, I'm going to leave it here. That basically wraps it up for our figure drop talk. Thank you guys for joining the stream and everything and participating and taking a closer look at this. Hopefully, if you were on the fence, maybe you're feeling a little bit better on it. And maybe, you know, if you got a good look at these and you're like, you know what, nah, these aren't for me after all, then, you know, that's the whole point of this, is to better educate and show you guys just what you're going to get yourselves into with these photos. And it's so hard to tell when you get these small photos on your mobile phones and stuff like that. You may be even watching this on your mobile phone right now. But that's the idea, is that we get to zoom in and you can see a lot of these details. Like I was like, what? Little eyeballs, what? You know? So it's pretty neat. I hope that you guys were having fun with it and everything. We're gonna do a Destroya stream soon, so I gotta wait for other pieces. They split up the shipment for me. We'll see how soon those are gonna get here. I do have one, so I'm thinking that we'll do a first look video for now, and that'll be no commentary, so look forward to that soon. Other than that, thanks for joining and everything. You guys are amazing. Stay classy, enjoy life, and we'll see you soon on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.